right with the time. Clap it up for Isaiah and for Yashikar. Let me go into the topic tonight for sisters, all right? Yashikar, you there?
Khan Arwan Khan, General. Aquí estoy.
Yashikar, now tell me about this story that happened in Mexico. Tell me where it happened and break it all down for the brothers and sisters, all right?
Khan Arwan Khan. So as we all know, there's some people, it was 3 Judite brothers and a sister that went to Matamoros, Tamaulipas. That's Gulf Cartel to the fullest. They stated they were going to go get a...
Let me explain that to the tribe of Judah. In Mexico, right, it's different than America in that some drug cartels control a certain area. Who controls Acuña, Yashikar?
That's the cartel from Coahuila, the one.
Coahuila. Okay, as you know, Captain Yatazak and of course Yashikar was with him. They went down to Acuña, Mexico. There's a particular cartel that owns that particular area. Meaning, when I say own it, meaning they're the government there. They don't have police and National Guard like you might have in America. The drug cartel controls. They're the government in that area. And what's the cartel in Acuña, Mexico?
It's from Coahuila, the one.
Ron Coahuila. What is the translation of that?
Coahuila is a state out of one.
Okay, Ron Coahuila cartel. That was the government that treated Captain Yatazak with much kindness and much brotherhood down there in Mexico. They were kind to us. They were gracious to us and escorted us all through the damn town, gave us a liaison and gave us an escort down there to help the Haitians down there. And they treated the Israelite school of UPK with kindness. I don't know who they are. I don't know who they are, but Captain Yatazak, he, of course, can tell you the story of how they escorted us into where the Haitians were, protected us while we gave out the food, and escorted us out. And they treated us with far more kindness than the New Jersey State Police do, than the Pennsylvania State Police do, than the Delaware State Police do. And we went in there, went out and helped those people, and that was that. They're not in the UPK. They're not associated with the UPK, but they treat us with an act of kindness that night. And I do appreciate it, all right? So now, this particular area where these 4 Judites were kidnapped is in what area? It's controlled by the Gulf Cartel in this particular area. Keep going now.
One concert. The area is Matamoros, Tamaulipas, 30 minutes away from where I live. Me and Officer Connect. This is our zone, not the one. This is
where did you grow up at?
I grew up right there, out of one. I have family right across the border in Reynosa, Tamaulipas. So it was here in Rio Grande Valley, and in Reynosa, Tamaulipas, it was an off and on thing. I would live there in here.
This is your hometown. So then this place where this incident happened is your hometown, correct?
Sir, I'm very familiar with that area, out of one.
No sign Christ. Keep going.
Sir. So social media here in America, they mentioned that Americans were kidnapped, but that's crazy, out of one, because America has never seen us blacks, Hispanics, and natives as Americans.
Give him a hand.
We're intruders to them. We're pests. They've been trying to kill us since the beginning of their time here in this continent. So we keep going, out of one. That's what the social media said here in America. But what they weren't saying is, shout out to my carnala Yarban Yashikar from Oregon. He gave me a lot of information on that. America was getting into it with Mexico because they wanted lithium. We had mentioned that, out of one, in the class you did when you were in Acapulco, sir.
I remember.
And Mexico denied that. So it keeps going, out of one. These brothers, they went in there, and according to the social media in Mexico, there was somebody had already told the Gulf Cartel that there was 4 Judite brothers, they kind of 4 blacks that were driving around Mexico looking for fentanyl. And They already had a checkpoint for every car, every vehicle that was coming around there, and
So
everybody
let me
knows
stop
they
you
would
right.
have
Let
to
me
stop.
explain right there, Yashikar. So those of you that don't know, America is looking for a reason to invade Mexico. You're seeing that happen right now with China as well. Back a few years ago, the government said that the COVID-19 virus did not come from a lab in China. It came from a wet market. Now the COVID-19 virus comes from China, and they're shooting down Chinese balloons because America wants to fight China. America also wants to fight Mexico. America wants to invade Mexico for lithium, and they're using fentanyl to say we need to invade Mexico. We need to kill every Mexican. The key to understanding American politics is to ignore any fight that divides people and focus on the things that they agree on. That's the thing they're trying to do. Let me give you a thing that they disagree on: reparations. Reparations is never going to happen. Reparations is something for black people to go, we really want it. And for white people to go, I'm never letting them have it for you to fight over. It's never going to happen at all. It's something to polarize the voting bases of both parties. If reparations is talked about, it makes black people go, we have to vote for reparations. It makes white people go, we have to stop reparations. It's nothing. It's a toss. It's a push. It's just even. It'll never go anywhere. But you better watch for the thing that they both agree on. They both agree on the Ukraine. Both sides. Republicans and Democrats want to fight Russia. Both of them. There is no disagreement. There is no debate. Everyone wants to fight China because fighting the Ukraine and fighting China is the World War III. World War III. It's the third world's war, and they agree on that. And America, Democrats and Republicans want to invade Mexico. They want to go into Mexico and just make it Texas. That's it. Just to control it. And with this story, they can use it to get the Democrats to be pro-war Mexico because black people are Democrats. There is always an agenda with everything, and the thing they both push, that's the scary thing, not the thing that they fight over. Go ahead, Yashikar.
Khan, sir. And as we go on, I started looking into a Mexican news podcast, and they had a different story. First of all, the doctor denied that sister had any appointment for any type of liposuction or any surgery in his clinic.
Say it again, Yashikar. Say that one more time.
Khan, sir. The doctor denied any appointment that sister had with his clinic. She never had an appointment.
The doctor who supposedly was doing the tummy tuck said, I don't know what she's talking about. She didn't even have an appointment with me at all. I don't know this sister. Keep going.
Khan. And as we keep going, the cartel were already looking for these brothers since before they even got to Mexico. Because there's a zero tolerance on fentanyl use and crystal meth in Tamaulipas, Mexico.
Let me break it down for the Judites in the room. There is a zero tolerance in this town for someone trying to buy fentanyl or crystal meth. Who can guess why? It's a very simple, just think common sense, brother. And because it's killing people, what does that mean for the brothers? What's the name of that town up?
Tamaulipas. Matamoros.
Tamaulipas, is that right?
Concert, Tamaulipas is a state. Matamoros
the state
is
of
a city.
Tamaulipas. The Gulf Cartel in Tamaulipas, they have a zero tolerance on fentanyl and methamphetamine. Why? You said it earlier. Because they're what? And what does that mean for them, for the Gulf Cartel? The fact that it's killing people. Yashimai. Meaning what? If it gets sold, what's going to happen eventually? It's going to kill Americans, which means what eventually? It means America is going to send the Navy SEALs into the Gulf cartel and kill everybody there. They're going to have justification to do what they love to do, which is be violent. That's it. And whenever you hear a story about fentanyl, just know that story is saying we should kill everyone in the Gulf cartel. We should kill everyone in this state. Every story about it is pushing you to accept it. Just like every story about the Crips and the Bloods is saying kill every Crip. Why do you think that this week that basketball player had a gun about as big as my cell phone? What's his name? John Morant. You know what John Morant is? A thug. A gangster. He's a criminal. No, if he's a criminal, then what are you? You need to be arrested and shot and killed because you have a gun in Denver where everybody has a gun, where guns are legal, where every white man goes to the gun range and shoots a gun and shoots all kinds of guns. But if a Judite has a gun, he's a criminal because they want to kill you and they're getting support for it. This story is going to make black people support them in killing the Gulf cartel and killing everyone in this state. And that's the point. Yashikar, keep going.
Another one, sir. So as these people were driving in Tamaulipas and the checkpoint was already made, they were ordered to stop by armed gunmen. We're talking about a man with AK-47s, bulletproof vests, just ready for war out of one. And these brothers, instead of stopping, and that's everybody around here knows you have to stop or it's death. And they just pretty much, they check who you are, where you're going, what's your business. It's a checkpoint for the cartel. Okay. So these brothers booked it out of one. They took off. And on their way of taking out.
Hold on, that's your car. So they get stopped by what's that word that means guard or gunman in Espanol?
Fuerzas Armadas.
Cuestas Armadas.
Fuerzas Armadas. It was armed men.
Armed men. They stopped Cuestas Armadas. Is that right?
Sir. Symbols.
They stopped them. This car flies through the checkpoint. The same car. They're checking everyone because they don't want anyone coming into this town trying to buy fentanyl because they don't want the Navy SEALs to come into this town and kill everyone because they know how violent white Americans are. They set the checkpoint up. The car flies through the checkpoint. Keep going.
Sir, if I could, out of one, the cartel, as we know, it does work with the American government. It's all about money and business out of one. The American government knows how knows everything about him, and they allowed it. Another topic I saw was that America was already threatening Mexico with boots on the ground. They're already trying to invade, and they're using the death of four Americans out of one. But out here, we're never considered Americans unless we're fighting their wars and dying for them. And that's only while we're at war. Because out here, we're spicks, wetbacks, niggas, and savages. That's all we are to them. But this is their opportunity. So that's what's going on between the presidents. And while these brothers and that sister try to get away out of one, they ran over one of the cartel members.
So now, as they're trying to get away from the checkpoint, they ran over one of the armed men who were at the checkpoint. Ran him down, ran him over. Keep going.
And that caused everybody to go into attack mode. So they started chasing them. They got in a car and they wrecked one of their cars against their van. And they just got out shooting out of one.
So then now they ran over one of the guards. So then now the guards come and attack the car. Then they got into a car wreck. And that's when the guards came and put them in the back of that truck and took them off. Keep going, Yashikar.
two brothers were killed. Two Judite brothers were killed right there, and there's videos of the cartel man putting them in the back of the truck. It's something that's normal to them. It's
Yeah.
it's business. That's the way it is. That's the mentality. This is war. Life is about warfare. Even for them, we always
Yeah.
live biblical times.
Yeah, man.
And what they didn't mention, a sister, Issachar's sister, she got shot. She was a half a block away. She got shot. One of them stray bullets went and killed her. And they took him out of one.
That's the one nobody. That's the one no one cared about, right?
Right out of one. That's the one nobody cared to mention.
Yeah, that she didn't matter because she doesn't further the American agenda to invade Mexico. So no one gave a damn about her. Keep going.
Count out of one concert. So they find him 2 days later, two dead, one wounded, and the sister was okay out of one. But what doesn't make sense, there was 5 people that came. I think it was from South Carolina. Mm-hmm. They came to Mexico for that surgery. Nobody goes to that part of Mexico for surgeries. They usually go.
Tell me, break this down for me. Is there a less dangerous place for a woman to get this surgery in Mexico?
There is out of one, and it's nowhere here in Texas, sir. All of this place where I live, it's level 4, hardcore out of one.
Yeah, Akim and Aguath, listen carefully. You out there, you got a suffering tail. Your tail is suffering with thickness, lack of thickness. There's a easier place to get your tail thickened or your belly flattened. You don't have to go to a level 4 dangerous place, which of course makes this story ridiculous. That they were down there to thicken their tails or to flatten their stomachs, because you can go to all kinds of safe parts of Mexico to have the same procedure done, which of course makes this story another American lie. A lie. Keep going up.
Another one, sir. And as more social media got involved and started doing investigation, it turns out that they had already gone to Laredo, which is another cartel territory. It's only 3 hours away from here out of one, but that's a whole different cartel. So they went from level 4 to level 4, and obviously, they were looking for something.
So wait a minute. So they went to Laredo, Mexico, 23 hours away. Another level 4. You're getting kidnapped.
It's 3 hours out of one.
I'm sorry?
It's 3 hours away out of one.
3 hours away. They went there, then left Laredo and went to another most dangerous place to go to get a surgery, to get, your tummy tucked. Keep going.
Another one, concert. And as the story keeps unveiling out of one, it turns out that 3 of those brothers had a hardcore history of drug distribution from they were at.
Surprise, surprise. Go ahead.
And it was I think one of the charges was fentanyl, from what I saw in the
Tell me about the woman. The woman who was down there, she lost her children because her children went to school and they had methamphetamine in their system, and she lost her kids. That same woman. Now, once again, I'm not a journalist. I'm not involved in this story. But let me tell you what it looks like. What it looks like is the age-old process of someone trying to go to Mexico to get small amounts of drugs, not the large amount that comes over here, shipped over here, but a few keys, 5 keys, 9 keys of cocaine or fentanyl or methamphetamine. They go down to Laredo, Texas, looking for a connect, go down to, what's this area again up?
Matamoros, Tamaulipas.
Tamaulipas, looking for a connect. The cartel does not want people coming down here looking for, what's the drug? Fentanyl, because they don't want to get invaded by the United States government. And then as they do the checkpoint, they kill and run over someone in the cartel. Then that causes them to chase them. They get into a car wreck. They then arrest the people. In America, we call that a kidnapping. right? But when the police throw you in a cop car, that also could be called a kidnapping. They're the government in that city. It's not a kidnapping, it's a detainment because they are the government in that neighborhood. Am I correct, Doc?
Con, I don't con, sir.
They're
They
the
are
government.
the law.
They're the law. It's not a kidnapping. It's like if a cop arrests you and throws you in a car, then they say the police kidnapped you. No one calls that a kidnapping. They call that an arrest. Well, they have a checkpoint. They're trying to stop people from buying fentanyl in this area. These people run through the checkpoint, run over a guard, and then they get detained, arrested, not kidnapped, arrested. Then they fight, they end up dead. What happened today?
Salaka, sir?
What happened today? Didn't the cartel give the people over who?
Con, I don't con.
Go ahead,
So
write that down.
the cartel is military structure. You know, also that's biblical. Everything is military structured. This group of men from that cartel failed to mention this to their boss. They just saw his homeboy dead. So they wanted blood. They wanted vengeance because, you know, these people ran over their brother.
So the guards, when their homeboy got ran over, they went and took the people who ran him over. But they didn't clear that with their superiors. And so what happened? Go ahead.
Khan. So the cartel went ahead and made a public apology. And they sent their condolences, and they sent the men that were responsible for the attack and the kidnapping.
That happened today. Today, the cartel handed over the men who kidnapped, detained those two Judites and gave them over to the authorities today and apologized. That is a lot better than the New York State Patrol, than the New Jersey State Patrol, than the Pennsylvania State Patrol. My God, 2 days later? Can you imagine? Listen, those cases you hear about on TV of black men being abused by the police and shot, they happened last year. Last year. The story comes out a year ago of what happened to you when you interacted with the police. These men, they handed them over to the police today and apologized for it because they ran over somebody. It looks like, if you're a journalist, they were trying to buy drugs, not get a BBL or a tummy tuck. And they were afraid of the checkpoint and ran through it. And then the guards arrested them, kidnapped them, shot them, and then the cartel handed them over to Mexican authorities today. Now, when the cops shoot your cousin, you let me know how long it takes for them to ever get brought to trial. Ever. For it to ever happen, if it ever happens. Let me ask you a question, Nak, if I could. This is where you grew up. What was it like growing up there?
It was a place of poverty, out of one. It's a survival of the fittest. It makes it almost impossible to live a normal life, and you have to be part of a cartel to feed your family. And us, man, we prefer death. We prefer to get in a shootout with another cartel. We prefer to kidnap. We prefer to kill than to watch our children die of hunger. Because no pain, nothing can soothe that pain. We don't do this because we love to murder. We do this because we have to. It's the way of life for many of us.
Give him a hand. And you think about that, what you're going to find is that America is going to want to turn you against your brother, the tribe of Issachar, La Raza. They'll try to turn you against them because 4 drug addicts went down to Mexico to get high and to sell drugs. So now you have to hate your brothers. Now, when you sold drugs because you were starving to death? Huh? You sold drugs because you wouldn't eat? You sold drugs in America because you wanted to ball, because you wanted to be a gangster, because you watched too many effing movies. Now you think about why they sell drugs. Tell me about that starving to death and your children not eating up. Explain that to the brothers and sisters, please.
And take it even farther in a heart.
Kanaron Khan, sir. It's a nightmare out of one. It's something nobody wants to go through, and all of us prefer death before that.
Have you experienced that? Meaning children not eating or you not eating? Tell me about your personal stories that happened.
Kanaron Khan, sir. I was involved in that. I was connected with many people. I did things people would see in the movies, like Scarface. I was a Mexican Tony Montana over here, not dealing with pounds or little pouches of cocaine. I dealt with tons and kilos, and we went hard out of one. And it's a life of death is always right around the corner. That's why my raza, they always praise that La Santísima Muerte. That's what it's called. It's like the angel of death. They expect death at any moment, at any time. You can get up and go to the store to buy some milk, some cereal. You could die right there as soon as you get out the driveway of your car. And we pray for a glorious death. The worst thing that could happen to people like that out of one is to get captured by another group, by another cartel. Because I've seen a lot of crazy stuff, sir. I've seen decapitations. I've seen people getting castrated. I've seen things people see in the movies and people see in their nightmares. Like, that's why the ISUPK is so important, because this is the home of the truth. This is the light in that darkness. This is a cure for that sickness that the goddamn gringos gave us and God has destroyed. This is their opportunity to go again, black against brown, for Judite brothers to say this is bullshit. Mexicans shouldn't kill. Israel has been killing each other since biblical times. And it always happens vice versa. This could have very well indeed been a judgment of the Lord. If those three brothers and sisters would have left with pounds of fentanyl or everything they wanted, they would have distributed not to the whites. They would have brought it back to the barrios, back to the hoods, back to the reservations. This could have been a judgment from the Lord. And that's just what I think I wanted. I'm nobody to say it was a judgment or not, but that's how it goes down out of one.
Orale, give him a hand. Simone now. Simone.
You are the moderator.
Let me tell you what. Okay, this is something that the UPK is built on. Don't ever allow anything that the government or oppressor does divide you from your brothers. Ever. Those brothers and sisters in that land, brother, are starving to death. They don't have welfare. They don't have Section 8. They don't have food stamps. They're starving to death. And if you think that you should receive mercy because of the crime you commit while you are in a land of plenty, then you damn sure better give them mercy, because their children don't have food. And Yashikar, you know that in the UPK out, there's nothing that can divide La Raza, the Latinos, from the tribe of Judah, from the Haitians, from the West Indians. We are one. I know you know that, Yashikar. Am I correct? Orale, Cardinal. With that, let's pass the class over to who's taking the class?